All right, let's watch this now.
I still cannot believe this is happening in my country, because every day we have hundreds of people dead. We have children dying on the streets, in the children's hospital, in orphanages. They're shooting vacuum bombs at preschool. It's just impossible to imagine, something that was impossible to imagine a week ago. Nobody believed that this could have happened in the center of Europe. And the only thing we keep begging as the country who gave up its nuclear weapon, who signed all the treaties.
Big mistake, by the way. On all fronts, signing treaties, fuck it, adding that to the HasanAbi doctrine as well. For nation building, okay, for nation building, don't sign treaties either.
Who was totally...
You don't know what they're doing. You're a small country. Don't let them fucking sign. Those treaties ain't gonna be good for you.
Protected by the international treaties and the collective defense, and is now...
Never give up the nukes. Don't sign treaties.
Under the shell fire, under the rockets, under the missiles, all we keep asking is help protect our sky. You've heard what Mikhailo was saying previously about the no-fly zone. The no-fly zone means that we can protect our civilian population. We can fight on the ground. We can fight with the tanks. We will go bare-handed, but we will stop them. But it's really difficult for us with the airspace open when we have tons of their helicopters, of their jets coming and just shooting our children, shooting our women, shooting our residential areas. And every time I keep talking about this on the Hill, I get this feeling that, well, we know we don't want to go with Russia into war. Well, I'm sorry, but this is Vladimir Putin who decides whether he goes into war or not. If he wants to go into war, he will. And the only thing I'm asking every politician here, because I think people had made up their mind. I've seen thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in the streets in every city. In Berlin, 100,000 people who persuaded their government to make a step towards SWIFT, towards stronger sanctions. And the only thing I keep asking the politicians is, where is the red line? Tell me what else you have to see on your TVs to help us with the sky, to help us protect our children. If you want to see the second election...
Okay, this part about that she just like... Look, I don't fault Ukrainians for having this take, because why the fuck wouldn't you? You're literally dying, you know what I mean? Like, if you're dying, then who gives a shit if other people die with you, you know what I mean? If your people are dying and you're desperate, you're gonna say stuff like this. I do, however, absolutely fault dumbass American Westerners who are like, we should do a no-fly zone immediately. It's like, shut the fuck up, dumbass. You don't want that smoke. You don't know what the fuck that smoke is. Okay? You don't know what the fuck you are asking for. She's desperate. That's why she's asking for this. If she wasn't, she wouldn't be.
World War III kick.
Okay. She's not just Ukrainian. She works at the Hill. This is a ploy. It doesn't matter. There's like Zelensky's asking for it too. It's not a fucking ploy.
Hi.
For the record, like that's not like there are real Ukrainians who are asking for a no-fly zone. That's not like a fucking ploy, brother. I don't know how to describe it to you, but
Putin needs to cut this shit out so we get more Elden Ring.
It's totally understandable that they want this. Why the fuck wouldn't they want it? They're dying.
Aleppo? If you want to see Ukraine being totally burned down to ashes, tell us that. I've heard about 500,000 people in Syria, so tell us honestly that we are not going to do anything, that democracy is going down and the tyranny is going to win. Because if Putin wins in Ukraine, that means that the whole world, the whole Western world, was not able to protect a single democratic country that has been in a lot of alliances, that has been in a lot of international treaties, and has been doing its job pretty good, and we've proved that the whole...
Okay, she's right, by the way. Like, Ukraine has been a good old boy to the West from the jump. This is what I mean when I talk about how, like, the Western obligations on Ukraine have not been fulfilled because they were never intended to be fulfilled. They were lies, because they literally have done everything that the West asked of them. They've done every single thing that their number one mistake was trusting Europe and thinking that like Europe is actually going to fulfill obligations.
So shit, what up, it's that boy.
They literally, Lamau, they literally, the clip from his show. Wait, what? Oh. Like, Ukraine did everything, especially since 2014. Ukraine has done every little thing that that their European partners have told them to do. And obviously, they also have personal interests in the matter as well. Like, they personally want to join as well. And part of the reason is because they were always fearful of Russia doing what Russia is doing currently. Part of it is also because they were getting goaded by European allies and giving them promises that they were never going to fulfill. So that's where we're at this stage. Like, Ukrainians asking additional help from the West is perfectly normal. They didn't do Minsk. Yeah, exactly. Because the reason why they didn't do Minsk is because the European partners wanted them to do Minsk, but they didn't want to do Minsk. You want to know why? Possibly because there was a larger country that overrides France and Germany that probably gave them additional coverage and said that they would be able to survive all-out war. Like, it's not a mistake that John McCain has fucking been inside of Ukraine. It's not a mistake, or it's not a fucking coincidence that Euromaidan and the American involvement in Ukraine, American NGO involvement in Ukraine wasn't fucking, meaningful. Like, why do you think John McCain went to fucking Ukraine and hung out with like literal fucking fascists? Why do you think Amy Klobuchar and John McCain went together to do this in Ukraine? Because they had interests in and said like, look, you have reason to be fearful of Russia, and those are legitimate fucking reasons. Okay? And we're going to use those reasons to basically fucking give you a false sense of security that you do not have. Everyone I don't like is a fascist. God damn you, people are disgusting. What would be your metric? Oh my God, this dude's name is literally the Dixie Defender. I mean, I was going to respond to it, and then I realized his name is just Dixie Defender.
Free Ukraine.
Heritage not hate, brother. Heritage not hate, brother. Svoboda. Svoboda is actually just a bunch of Ukrainians that love their country, brother. Get the fuck out of here, okay? Svoboda. I can't even say it right. Listen, I don't know. They seem wide enough to me, okay? They seem wide enough to me over there. And I think the Russian government's a bunch of commies. Thread on the tanky discourse, I promise, is cringe, not relevant. Cringe and is relevant. Glad the poorly defined, powerful Marxist-Leninists have so much power and influence over policy, and Demon Hours Twitter are finally being held accountable. It's a brave and noble journalistic undertaking that shows nuance and depth and understanding of an unorganized group. Don't be a tanky pseudo-leftist. I wonder why the Intercept wrote an article like this. I mean, Pierre Omidyar would never have an interest in Ukraine, right? Pierre Omidyar, the owner of the Intercept and First Look Media, has never dumped, almost millions of fucking dollars into NGOs in Ukraine. That would be crazy if
10 months of subs but been here for years. Keep up the work, Hans.
Look, I got homies at the Intercept. I love the Intercept. I don't know who wrote this article, but you know, Russia's invasion of Ukraine became a test for the anti-war left, both at home and abroad. One Sarah Jones writes. Like the people that they're yelling about. The people that they're yelling about, these fucking weirdos, like they're writing about, are literally like 3 people on the internet, okay? There's a reason why they don't mention me in these fucking articles. Or maybe they do, I don't know. But like, most of the people have an attitude similar to mine, if you're talking about like the tankies or whatever the fuck, which is anti-imperialism. But beyond that, like Russia's war crimes are also need to be acknowledged, okay? The idea that like random fucking control F, no, I'm not on this article. There's no way this person mentions me. See, no, I'm telling you, no. The argument you're making, you need to make to yourself when you get really hurt by shitter chatters. I know. But the difference is they're coming into my fucking space and yelling regularly and routinely. Versus like most of these other people are just like literally yelling in their own fucking spaces, and that sphere of influence is nothing. It's like the Bernie bro argument all over again. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? They're literally writing about r/Gen Z dong user Lamau. That's what I mean. It's like, what the fuck? You say they invade you? Yeah. Kind of like the top of the hour ad break invades you, unless you are protected against the top of the hour ad break in the form of a Twitch Prime or $5 a month subscription. That's right. Because the invasion of the top of the hour ad break comes regardless, but you can be prepared against it with a subscription. You can also get gifted a sub. That's another way that you can prepare against the top of the hour ad break invasion. But if you're not lucky, you can make your own luck in the form of a $5 a month or free subscription with a Twitch Prime. Here's the 1 minute ad break now.
Pogo.
In the form of a North Atlantic Twitch organization. I'm telling you, we are at the essential worker stage where we know that something needs to be done, but we don't really want to do anything about it besides changing our Twitter handle. Yeah, but the alternative is like, you know, other countries have done things to help their essential workers, and we could have done things to help our essential workers, but we didn't because capitalism. But in this situation, the alternative is nuclear holocaust, and that is what's stopping people from, taking the necessary course of action that Twitter users have declared necessary and immediate. Anyway, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the HasanAbi doctrine, a guide for nation building. Rule number 1, get nukes. Rule number 2, do not give up your nukes. Rule number 3, if you're accused of having nukes, drop everything immediately and find some nukes. I think you have nukes. I need to find nukes fast. I'm glad that someone turned this into a easily consumable format, because it's something that people need to know about, okay? It's something that people need to hear. It's something that people need to know. Let's finish this video, though, because I keep fucking,
could not protect one country from a single lunatic who keeps telling everybody that I'm going to invade France, I'm going to invade Finland. What's next? And I just keep telling them it's...
But at what point human suffering does that world risk nuclear holocaust? Not Ukraine. That's for sure. That's what everyone has said is the red line for them. It's just the unfortunate reality.
It's not about politics, because I was looking at the sanctions and I was very surprised because we were
I don't think Putin's going to invade France.
If the Russian soldier steps on the Ukrainian land, we will have a really good response. Well, I'm sorry, but the sanctions avoided the energy sector. So let's talk honestly.
This part is the good part, okay, of her argument. This is actually accurate, in my opinion, and it's fair. This is a fair fucking talking point that she's about to drop on Fox News.
That you care more about whether you pay extra 50 cents for your gas prices or how many people die in Ukraine. We've been promised SWIFT. We have 5 banks on the SWIFT that were blocked out of 300 in Russia. You call these sanctions? Well, I'm sorry. Let's just ban every bank, sanction every bank that works with the Russian bank. In this case, they will be totally blocked. If we do not bring their economy down and their oligarchs down, it's not going to help. And we don't have time for this. We don't have time for negotiations and for discussions. We need to take action now. Because every day, and you see it on TV, I get these sirens on my cell phone every day because I live in Kiev and I'm connected to all the infrastructure.
Wouldn't the U.S. actually get some of their international credit back? What is the U.S. international credit? Like, what the fuck does that even mean if they helped Ukraine, or don't you think it would continue to hurt them? Like, well, what does that even mean, the international credit? The alternative of this, like, you know, crazy metric that you've created, the international credit, I don't know what that even means. I think you're talking about, like, U.S. as a global hegemonic power, like the superpower that leads the world, but... you know, that's an arbitrary metric that you've assigned. The alternative to reach that arbitrary metric is like potentially risking nuclear holocaust. Don't think that the United States is ready for that yet.
So I wake up every day just texting my friends if they're alive. And I was today on the Hill, and I was talking to one of the congressmen, and he said he knows my colleague. Yet I told him, do you know what my colleague is doing at the moment? It's a girl. And he said, no, what? I said, well, she's doing Molotov cocktails. He didn't believe me. So I had to show him photos of the member of the parliament doing Molotov cocktails just to protect the city. She didn't escape. She's there.
I'm frightened to think what it's going to look like when the Russian soldiers really enter, when that convoy surrounds Kyiv and those soldiers enter. I think we're going to see those Molotov cocktails out in force. Alexandra, I hear what you're saying. There have been security guarantees made to your...
Don't you think that the world should dunk on every single country doing war crimes, or not a single one? Because we shitting on Russia or China but ignoring the U.S. or its alliance is kind of not right. I mean, I do dunk on all countries shitting on war crimes, and people literally will come in here and fucking yell at me and say, I'm actually doing whataboutism because I brought up America and its ongoing fucking war crimes. Or I'm actually wrong because America's imperialist endeavors are justifiable. Or they say, you know, I'm trying to derail away from the main villain at the point, Russia, because my 10-hour fucking Russia bad coverage is not enough for them to get that true feeling in their heart that like Russia is bad indeed. But yeah. Interesting. Stanovaya says her source claims. What the fuck is this, dude? Dude. What the fuck is this? Like, please stop. Like, we've moved beyond fucking trusting the American intelligence and moved into like random fucking NGO people. You know what I mean? Source claims Russia's economic lib bloc wants to offer to buy Crimea and Donbass from Kyiv for 150 billion, and in exchange for ending the war. She said Putin won't agree, but this behind doors debate is significant. What? What the fuck? First of all, it's not significant. Do you want to know why it's not significant? Because guess who's not going to let that happen, okay? Guess who also was like, hey, fuck this Minsk deal shit, okay? You know who doesn't want that to happen? You know who wants a crime? Do you know who wants Ukraine and Ukrainians to continue fucking fighting against Russia, their foreign adversary, far away from home? America, okay? I'm sorry, it's just the truth. Anyway, let's continue.
They're still keeping
Let's
them
hear what the fuck this guy has to say now.
As hostages, effectively. Neo-Nazis